welcome everybody. Welcome to another podcast of the Kynection Partner Spotlight. I'm Phil De Cruz, your host, and today I've got someone really special. It's our lovely Elise Webb, the head of customer success for Stratus Group. Say hi to your fans out there, because I know you've got plenty. So say hi.
Oh, Phil. Thank you for having me.
Good, thank you. Now, Stratus, you're one of the big dogs of one of the implementation VARs for MYB, Acumatica, and Wise, and a few others. But I want to start off by saying, how did you get this role that you are now of being like the national CSM, that everyone loves you, all your customers love you? How did you get this status? How did you get this role? Where did you come from? How did you build?
Where did I come from? So I worked for Flight Centre Travel Group for 15 years. And I worked bottom to top, actually, as a young cat. Walked in, started at selling travel. Then I was assistant manager. And then I was the team leader. And then I ended up being the area leader and then brand leader, looking after specialised businesses. So business travel in particular, first in business and around the world. And I was in charge of the inaugural branches in WA, which was a bit of a baby of mine. So I had about 100 staff across WA, which was fun. And then COVID happened.
Yes.
I really had to think about what I was going to do. So I made the decision to go down with the ship, which I was quite happy with. So I downsized the business and the poor people in it. And then I walked the plank myself and took myself off to greener pastures. And thinking about what my transferable skills were, coming from a background of business and, a KPI-driven culture around improvement and continuous improvement, I was like, where can I go next that's going to give me a learning curve? And I saw customer success come up and I was doing a bit of research into that. And I was like, ERP, wonderful world of that. And then I decided to do a bookkeeping course because I was like, well, I probably should understand a few things before I put my hat in the ring. Yeah. And because I'd worked for a large corporate, you get your balance sheet and all of those, but I wanted to understand how that all comes together. So I went and did that. And then I saw Mike Pendred had offered customer success role over in Leaderville. And I thought, gee, that might be interesting. And 4 years later, here I am. And I started off with account management. And then I thought, oh, yeah, what else? And then we found some really great opportunities within Stratus to put some awesome processes in place, which led to project management and some really great granular growth for our customers. And then we looked at processes we've got internally and I flipped them and turned them into processes for customers. And ERP is complex. So for me, it was just how do you make it meaningful? How do you create a lovely collaboration with a client so they know the direction they're on and where they're going? And now I've been doing some management consulting to help define, what do you want to achieve? In what specific time frame? And why are they your priorities? And what efficiencies is that going to give your business? It's like a structured roadmap, so they know where they're going. And we've got a plan for how they're going to adopt that software and how it's going to be sustainable over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, wow. Good. Is there an industry you like more than another? Like, do you
ask me that?
I don't know, do you like construction more? Do you like what goes on there? Do you like solving problems in retail? Is there a preferred industry or you just,
I find retail easy.
Yep.
I've probably heard of, expense management options and point of sale. They're all stuff I fundamentally more than understand. But yeah, construction's cool. We've got a lot of civil construction clients as well as around the country. So I'm learning a lot there. I find when, there's a lot of process involved, like, what clients have to go through in their day-to-day, super interesting. Because if you can understand what that looks like, you can be like, I get why that sucks. I get why that's hard. How do we solve that problem? We've got clients who build some really, really big machinery, and there's a lot of processes that go in place. It's very important, and it's important that we're able to understand that and go on the journey with them.
Yeah, I love those day in the life. Like, I try to request it as much as possible. Can you please take me out on the field and tell me what you do? Like the other day, I had a manufacturing client, and they create lollies and jelly beans and those little milk bottles that no one buys. But he gave me a full excursion in the
Mm.
manufacturing plant, and I felt like a little kid. Like I had my hairnet on, and I was just looking at every single station in that process, from creating the batch orders, from a paper process going into here, then going into packaging, and then this is where all the ingredients are kept, and this is where we make new things, and this is our storage. And I was like, oh my god, I know where we can fix that. I know where we can fix that. I know where we can fix that, and it helps so much. So yeah, I definitely encourage it. I definitely encourage those little walkthroughs, which is great.
I think it's how do you possibly understand unless you've seen
No,
it?
unless you've seen it before, yeah. Unless
Yeah, like
you
you've got to
started
go
off
on
in that
site.
industry, you got to go outside. All
Yeah.
right, let's get into some questions. All right, so you're very unique, as we've established. How does your expertise, as well as Stratus expertise, can benefit some of our mutual customers that we currently have together? We'll start off with that one.
Mm. Um, well, I think my biggest thing for clients is I'm really able to articulate for them what's going to be difficult and why, and where they need to spend their time.
Yep.
So giving customers a bit of a blueprint for this is how we do implementation, and really getting them to understand that go live is not the end of the project.
No.
Go live is the middle of the project, and there's very important steps to get you to go live, and then there's very important steps to get you to proficiency.
I completely agree. That's well put. Yeah.
And getting them to see it as a bit of a, and how are we giving them guidance to be in control and managing the project from their side as we're managing the project. How are we supporting adoption and sustainability and SOPs, and what does that look like over the next 6 months?
Yeah.
And being able to do that at the beginning of the project with very clear expectations, very high support. And, you know, that's one of the change management processes I put in place at the very beginning of the project, which clearly defines exactly what we're changing, why we're changing it, what is the organisational benefits they're going to receive from that, what's the list of priorities. You know, we've got a number of projects with yourself at the moment, and it's a valuable document that goes to all parties. Kynection get that, Stratus get that, the client get that. We've got plans and strategies to be able to go, this is how we're going to deliver training. This is when we're going to do it. This is when we're going to do testing. How do you know as a customer, you know, a big education piece I'm doing at the moment is critical processes. How do you know what is a critical process for you, and not just operating systems? And
Yeah, you're right.
taking them through that process. It's like for me, it's start with spreadsheets. Start with all these separate pieces of data. They're usually your critical processes. So then we need to decide if that's simply solved, or if that is something we need you to be like, okay, this is specific for you. And I think a lot of customers think, but we're simple, we're standard. And there's no customer that does everything exactly the same way. I think, you know, both of us offer products that are highly flexible, and, you know, we can change the way they work for the customer. So yes, I spend a fair bit of time explaining, is this specific to you, or is this standard operating process? Both are important, but it's just about that ownership and sustainability piece for me. It also gives a calmness as well. Got a lot of processes that go with that people go, I understand that. It's easier.
I can't agree more. That peace of mind, that alignment, that we're all on the same page, and we clearly understand our objectives, our problems, our pains, our solutions, our ROI that we're going to get on specific areas. Huge, huge. Thanks for that. Let's kind of change this question around. What is a common challenge that you see um, across? Let's pick a construction industry, but what's a
Mhm.
common challenge that you currently see a lot amongst most of the clients that we've worked with? What you've already got in the Stratus portfolio? What I see is obviously disjointed systems, it's paper processes, but is there any other theme that you could add on top of that?
Well, honestly, paper.
It's always paper. Yeah.
Paper,
Okay.
paper, more paper. The savings on paper alone, when we work together to build a solution for a client, is awesome. But when it comes to field operations, there's just so much involved, and there's often they might have manual job costing, or they lack real-time visibility into project performance. How do you know if you've blown the budget or missed a milestone if you've not really got that level of granular tracking? So that's often a common one that comes up as well. Processes around payroll. I'm definitely not going to pretend to know a lot about payroll. That is a special beast in itself. But timesheeting and the different ways people are paid in the construction industry, paper timesheets, manual payroll, admin overheads, errors people make because of paper, all of those things for us are really fun to solve because it's instant wins.
Exactly right.
And everyone is happier. The payroll people are happier, people getting paid are happier, with how they do their timesheets is easier. It just is such a quick win to allow the business to be on the business, not in the business, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's always a massive challenge. And I know when people hear this, the ears are going to start burning because they're going to be like, that lady's right. The amount of time, the manual entry, the amount of time I spend just getting that payroll and the award allowances, particularly the unions and the CFMU and all that's involved.
Yeah.
The allowances, and then the changes that happens during a construction project that alters pay is what I'm starting to see. Like whether increment, what rates come in, it's a different rate. Different utilization of assets is another different rate. Different projects, different rate. Different public holidays, another different rate. It gets so complex that there's not many out there that can do it. I'll name a few. I know there's Deployment Hero, there's TimeSite Pro, there's us, but it is a complex thing to get right.
It is,
and it does require a lot.
And that's not even before you get to the compliance and safety documentation and add that paper into the mix.
And that's another element. Yeah.
So I think being able to have a nice, neat, systemized process where there's not a piece of paper flying around, just while it's a really big change for a lot of businesses, it just really frees them up to start to fly as an organization. Exactly
right. Yep. Oh, that one piece there, payroll and just timesheets you can just go to the market with just that. Excellent answer. Alrighty. What other ways can you see our partnership enhancing? We've been a partner with Stratus for a couple of years now. I reckon since I've been in the position, it has ramped up a little bit. You have participated in some of our events. We've started to get some mutual customers on board. Is there anything else you can do to enhance the customer experience?
Well, for me, first of all, I think you've got to do business in the same way. You've got to have that same value on customers and the same value on response times, support, ongoing maintenance, development, all of those sorts of things. With software, it's, you've got to have a really good, trusting relationship with your customers. And firstly, we absolutely have that with Kynection. And we have a lot of construction, especially in Victoria and in WA. And ERP and the journey that is, it's never finished, especially for these, big businesses. We've only just started to touch on some of those critical processes that these customers need. And so you've got to walk before you can run. If you put an ERP in and then 6 months later you're ready to, you've only put some of the paper in the bin and there's still a heap of paper behind you, and you start chipping away at what you need. And I spend a lot of time talking to customers about, we're just scratching the surface of what the software can do and understanding what their gaps are. It's really nice to be able to swing in Kynection and go, these people will determine suitability for you because their suite of options is so deep, the functionality is so wide. You really need to have a conversation that's right for you. And then we come up with a scalability plan that allows them to grow, evolve, enhance their software, while making sure that it's industry specific, which I really like. It does then start to really come back to the motivations and the original reason they put in the ERP. And because of the compliance piece that you offer, it really does start to tick some of those boxes. So how would we work together going forward? I do a lot of sharing of information. For me, information should be free. I make sure we give that to our customers willingly and regularly. So at the moment, we've got blogs going out to customers, webinars. I just think the more we can put in front of customers to be able to say, this is free information, come listen, learn, ask questions. No question is a silly question is important. For customers to be able to look at your website and see that you have a good relationship with Stratus, and for our customers to look at our website and go, oh, Kynection, what does that look like? But, we treat our partnerships, they're important, and we don't partners with everybody because we want meaningful relationships. And, we're looking forward to the Forge event that we're going to be participating in September, and we're doing a lot more face-to-face initiatives with customers.
I can't wait for you to bring some customers that you're with and you throw some axes with them. Like that is, it's so unique. And then drinking tequila on the side. It's going to be quite interesting how that goes. But it could go good. Well, it also could be a nightmare, and there could be a health and safety hazard. But at least it's a first. No other partner will be able to do that. You can, so it's a great story.
No, it's actually it's going to be very fun. I'm looking forward to getting our Vic customers out and about. So it'll be great.
Oh, it's going to be good. Absolutely. Alrighty. Now, this question. Yeah, you didn't like this question that much, but let's see how you go with it on innovative strategies that Stratus are doing. Now, I kind of want to set you up that HubSpot is a great CRM. It's now really getting entrenched in the VAR community, where I see it. But are you able to add any extra innovative strategies that Stratus is specifically doing, but not giving too much away because you don't want your competitors jumping on, but just a taste.
Yeah, well, I work across all aspects of the business. So when we look at, customer success, I look at our customers from support, what's ticket volume like, what's sentiment like. I look at blogs and all sorts of free information I can share with customers. I look at capturing customer satisfaction surveys. I look at capturing feedback. Now, I used to do that in 7 different softwares until we got HubSpot.
Really?
And wow. It has dawned on me how lovely my day-to-day life is now that I only have to log into one place and not 7. That's been wonderful. But it's actually also meant that I can capture sentiment very, very quickly. And so Stratus has 690-ish customers across 4 different ERP platforms.
Wow.
And there's just one of me. So I have to be very clever with where I get my data from and how I use that. And I've got some pretty cool dashboards that allow me to keep a finger on the pulse, and also reach out to customers where I think's needed, and also help them with discovery. That's the fun bit. And, keeping a record of all that free discovery that we send out to our customers to be like, you had questions? Easy. Here's some answers. Here's some demos. Here's a webinar. Here's a personalized walkthrough. We capture all of that. And before, it was in my head and in my calendar. So I'm very, very grateful to have something that's going to allow me to have meaningful contact with all of our customers across different products. Because separate systems, it was difficult, and the knowledge bases and the things we've been able to build out for customers has been really cool.
Yeah.
So it's just a place for them to go and go like, how do I do this? Easy. We've got videos. They're free. You can have them at any point. We did a webinar. Where's the link? Easy. It's free. I've got it here for you. New website, case studies, all of those sorts of things are now housed in the one spot. Our consulting team, development team, support team know where they are. It's not just my knowledge anymore. It's free and easy to access for anyone. And I think our customers are feeling that knowledge is free from us, which was something that I really wanted to embed in our customer group. It's not, we're not IT, we're a services industry, and we provide our customers with the support, the help, and the discovery they need. And discovery should always be given willingly.
Oh, that well put. I love that. That's excellent. I don't know how you can manage all that, so many customers, but lovely. The dashboards and reporting that comes out of HubSpot allows you, as you said, keep a pulse on them, which is great. And yeah, the importance of information sharing is huge. I'm starting to see it when I'm putting my feet into the marketing department, which they don't like, but I need to understand that because sales and marketing need to play together. But there is sometimes I heard that 30 touch points is almost what is needed before that customer actually reaches out to book a demo with you. So they need to have 30 touch points. So they need to see your website. They'll see a capability statement. They might see you on a marketplace. Then they might see you on another webinar. They might see you at a trade show. They might see you on an EDM content that was reached out. They might see you on a hotel banner. There's so many things. You need to get that information out there because, as I said, minimum 30 touch points before they reach out is what I hear. But huge. Crazy. Long-term value in our partnership bring customers. How would you keep them satisfied? So, so let's just talk about maybe some of our current customers without giving names. How can we combine our forces together to keep them satisfied? Yes, on-site visits. The Forge event is, for me, it's like the ultimate CSM play. Bring people there face-to-face, have fun, and you knock them all out in one night instead of going to individually of your 600 clients, which will take a number of years to do that. But yeah, other events in the Forge. Is there any other ways you could say?
Yeah, I'd like to see us bring some of our clients together to meet each other. I've done this across a few different industries, and clients really love to know what their friends in the same industry are doing, struggling with, working with, and collaborate. And get ideas and information from other people and create a little bit of a community around it, because the software is only as good as the user, and how you implement change in a business and make it meaningful and get your employees on board is different in every industry and different in every business. And I think that information sharing alone creates confidence. And I think we've got some really interesting customers with a lot to share.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Creating that community is huge. When we did our first Forge last year, we had first-time customers meet other customers. And when we presented one of the customers, our other customer goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know you could do that for them. We want that now as well." So, because, as you said, we're not a one box fits all. It's everything has tailored things. But when people see like, hey, they're very similar in industry and you've tailored their connection system to be like that and giving that sort of data, we kind of want that too. So, and that's the beauty of trying to bring these two people together. Yeah, I love it. So I'm a big advocate
Agreed.
for it.
I also think both of us offer customers solutions that's ever evolving and changing, and how we can better communicate to this, industry vertical around what's new and how that could benefit is going to be really important, because they don't know what they don't know. And even though the solution might be working perfectly, there's always going to be a gap. As every business grows, there's a gap. And we have some very cool tools to be able to bridge those gaps, and just making that easy. You don't need to come to us. We'll keep giving you the discovery for free and taking you on that journey of what's possible.
Yeah, and that's the importance of data sharing, as you mentioned, because the industry is going to evolve, the technology is going to evolve, and you need to be on the forefront of this. And that's what some of our customers like is, hey, we'll say we've just built a new feature. Now you can add a weather widget on your database, or now you can take photos of a building that's half burnt down, and the AI will analyze a quote for you based on the estimates of what you need. Like, just new stuff that's coming out. Is we want to be on top of that first, and then provide that to our customers, because
Absolutely.
once they've got the new tools, it gives them the competitive edge, and that's what they want.
Yep.
They want to grow. We want to scale them. So,
And time will always be king.
time is king. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So, and that will, if we're always focusing on that, I think it's easy what we can bring together for our customers.
Yes. Well, okay. Well, it's been short and sweet so far. It's been great. I'm going to throw another curly question at you, just because it's not just to see. I like to keep you on your feet. Is there a specific AI tool that you love right now that you use every day, and why?
Ooh. Well, the paid version of ChatGPT.
Beautiful.
Yes. Because I will upload technical documents, and I will use them against, say, your website, for example. And then I'll be able to look at gaps, and then I will look into researching those gaps. So for me, it's a wonderful blueprint for deep dive, because I am not a technical being. I'm a customer person, a process person, and I'm a business coach. I'm not going to pretend to know a lot about software, but I can find out. And that's the key. I can go and find out. You ask the right questions, use the right tools. There's no answer you can't find. So, that's always going to be my starting point. And I do love a quick PowerPoint in Gamma. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, good work. I'm glad that you said that too. Excellent. Well, that's a great way to end it. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time, Elise. Thank you for chatting with me. I know this is quite out of the norm in the world of ERPs, but it's something I want to bring, and who knows, we might get invited to go to Joe Rogan one day. But I do look forward to seeing you in Melbourne. It was great seeing you last year at MyOb, and I look forward to throwing some axes with you. I can't wait.
Absolutely. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
See you.